and let me use that word again, which proves she was on a manhunt, not just for a famous Brit, not just for a British royal, but for Prince Harry.
And that's it. And I think you can't have more than the last husband saying this. He's an honourable man. He's not going to tell lies. Why should he? So this is the truth. And I think we're all going to be after the truth for quite a long time.
He's interviewed, you can see him thinking for a bit, and he's very moderate. And he was also very respectful to the late Queen, always, and admired her hugely. And what this couple have put her through is one of the things I shall never forgive them for in the last years.
A blink. That's all it took. Not a scandalous interview, not leaked text messages, not an explosive tell-all book, just a blink. 5 quick, uneven blinks that for a tiny moment told a story her perfectly painted lips would never reveal. A story that shattered the fairy tale she had sold to the world into 1,000 pieces. Something was wrong. It wasn't loud or obvious, just that one small moment that didn't sit right. A twitch, a blink, and then silence. But if you've been paying close attention lately, you know, this isn't nothing. This is the beginning of the end.
There's going to be a terrible revenge when those children grow up. I mean, I don't know about you, but I would be very annoyed if I found that I'd been used in all these posts in a strange way by my parents. And equally,
it wasn't a tabloid headline that set things in motion. It was a single, simple question asked under the soft spotlight of a television studio. Meghan Markle, perfect as ever, sat there as the host asked her something so harmless, so simple, yet so devastatingly revealing. Do you think you'll be married forever? Meghan didn't flinch, not outwardly anyway. Her answer came quickly, almost too quickly.
At one point, and discovered that they never knew their their grandfathers. I mean, Mr. Markle, I personally think of course he's a broken man, but he's a rather sweet man, actually, and he did a lot for that girl when she was growing up. Don't you think?
But her face was having a whole different conversation. A strange smile, a flicker of discomfort, a tilt of the chin that screamed, "Let's change the subject." And then they came, the blinks. 5 deliberate, nervous blinks that didn't belong to a woman secure in her fairy tale. They belonged to someone who had already rehearsed her next move. And just 24 hours later, that move was in full swing.
Short amount of background on this because Megyn Kelly actually first revealed evidence of the mood board during my former show on GB News. But on her brilliant Megyn Kelly show,
Meghan Markle was spotted draped in elegance, eyes sparkling, at a table with a Saudi billionaire in one of Los Angeles' most exclusive restaurants. No Harry, no wedding ring, no baby in tow. Just candlelight, laughter, and champagne glasses that clinked a little too easily. Coincidence? Not a chance.
Prince George and the others, but I don't know. It seems, I think I would be, I could just see a horrible revenge coming from those children.
Interesting. Well, at the Platinum Jubilee several years ago, I took a wrong turn after one of the events and I walked into an area I wasn't meant to be.
To understand this moment, we have to rewind. Not to the wedding, not to the Oprah interview, but to her old blog, The Tig. A curated little corner of the internet where Meghan Markle, long before she even dreamed of being a duchess, served up wine reviews, girl boss mantras, and lifestyle posts from the bathtubs of luxury hotels. It was polished, it was intentional, and it was the blueprint for everything that was to come.
It's like, when will Prince Harry wake up? How many warnings can you receive? I mean, we obviously know via Tom Bower that Meghan Markle returned her engagement ring to Trevor Engelson via the post. But the
Mike and Zara's children were all playing around, jumping on each other, jumping on Mike's back, jumping on Peter Phillips' back, and it was actually a really kind of joy to watch. And that's what occurred to me there. I thought, well, wouldn't this be great if Lilibet and Archie could hang around with all their cousins?
When she met him, it wasn't a random fairy tale. It was a strategy meeting, a royal opportunity. She didn't stumble into the palace. She walked in with high heels, highlighter, and a plan. She didn't just want a man, she wanted the machine behind him. The gold-plated institution, the global spotlight, the centuries-old name recognition. She didn't want the storybook to end. She wanted the publishing rights.
But it's so fascinating that she had her sights set on Harry.
I think she studied him. Now, if you do study him carefully, you can see he's very vulnerable, and you can see.
But once she was inside, the illusion shattered faster than you can say Commonwealth duties. Palace insiders report that Meghan expected royal life to feel like Versailles, chandeliers, private jets, an endless budget for couture. What she got was Nottingham Cottage, a drafty castle, rationed jewelry, and a curfew disguised as protocol. A modest, cramped royal starter home tucked away on palace grounds, complete with IKEA lamps and peeling paint.
Interesting, this new Instagram PR strategy, though. I must say, I know we talk about the backs of the children's heads. The children's faces were front and center of those videos. So it seems like this new PR team is just...
Forget the Downton Abbey fantasy. This was more like royal dorm life without a butler. And then came the real shock. Harry wasn't truly rich. He had the title, the fame, the press. But in Meghan's world, the world of billionaires, boardrooms, and private equity brunches, Harry was just rich adjacent. Not Jeff Bezos rich, not Elon Musk rich, not even David Beckham rich. For Meghan, marrying into the monarchy was supposed to be an upgrade.
Children. So she would hear that, so she would offer him that. She would offer him Africa because he loved Africa, so she went for a quick trip.
But behind the palace walls, it felt more like she had traded Hollywood sound stages for a glorified historical museum with rules, rankings, and relentless scrutiny. This reality wasn't just a disappointment. It was a strategic miscalculation. The price for royal status was high. Her freedom, her voice, her brand. But the return on investment seemed far lower than expected.
And the thing is, Angela Levin, and remember, Megyn Kelly first revealed this long before Meghan Markle ever went public with her vision boards. But do you remember recently?
That was the spark that set the whole narrative on fire. Where was the wealth? Where was the staff? Where were the perks that made all the protocols worthwhile? It wasn't long before the questions started. But they didn't come from Harry. They were reportedly whispered by Meghan herself, direct, daring, questioning the sacred hierarchy of the House of Windsor. Why does William get the spotlight? Why does Kate get the glamour, the coverage, the curated image? Why are we just the supporting cast? For centuries, the royal family has operated on a rigid system, one that elevates the heir while the spare stays in line. But Meghan wasn't raised to be quiet. She didn't leave Hollywood to play second fiddle. She came to be seen, heard, and celebrated. Suddenly, the press that had once fawned over Harry's girl began to shift. Insiders started talking. Palace aides grew nervous. The headlines turned sour. The fairy tale became a feud. The firm had no place for a duchess who questioned the system. And Meghan had no intention of playing the supporting role in someone else's story. So she flipped the script. If the palace wouldn't make her the main character, she would build her own stage and make sure the spotlight followed her every move. And that's exactly what we're seeing now. Don't be fooled by the lack of divorce papers. Something is already broken. Whether you call it a trial separation, a brand evolution, or the soft launch of a solo era, one thing is clear. This isn't just distance, it's design. Gone are the days of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex functioning as a package deal. No more hand-in-hand photo ops. No more banter on a couple's podcast. No more united royal rebellion front. Now, Meghan is walking her own red carpet, and Harry isn't even on the guest list. Instead, we get American Riviera Orchard. Meghan's brand, which practically has lemon zest woven into its font, jars of jam wrapped in twine, curated shots of her cutting roses and arranging peaches, flouncing around Montecito as if she's prepping for a Vogue spread. There is no trace of Harry, not a hand, not a cameo, not even a whiff of collaboration. Let's be honest, this isn't a case of a busy schedule. This is a woman relaunching herself, solo. This is Beyoncé, breaking from Destiny's Child, but instead of a microphone, Meghan is holding a mason jar. And what does Harry get? Silence. He has gone from royal rebel to reclusive spouse. watching as the woman who once said, "We're in this together," now builds a world where he no longer seems to fit. This process of alienation isn't happening in secret. It's being carefully staged for the public. Every post, every product, every paparazzi shot is a brick in the fortress of her new, independent identity. The second twist in this drama isn't just the separation itself, but the state in which Harry is left behind. He's not just separate, he's adrift, a ghost. Once he was the golden prince, the charming royal heartthrob who brought an edge to the monarchy and charm to a centuries-old institution. Now, he's barely a blip on the radar. While Meghan dines with billionaires, launches lifestyle brands, and basks in her Montecito bloom, Harry is out there, clinging to the last thing that still has his name on it, the Invictus Games. That's his baby, his legacy, his reminder to the world that he still stands for something. But even that feels quieter now, dimmer, overshadowed by the glare his wife is generating solo. We see him at events, his voice trembling slightly, his eyes darting, his smile stretched just a little too wide. He's no longer the confident royal who once took on the press and protected his wife like a lion. He's a man who is no longer sure where he belongs. Where is he now, while Meghan dines with tycoons and floats through fruit-themed brand launches? He's wandering through London neighborhoods, baseball cap pulled low, eyes hidden, unrecognized, captured by a doorbell camera. Alone, silent, a royal ghost, caught on grainy footage, haunting the places he used to belong. These images are more than just snapshots. They are a visual echo of his isolation. The man who gave up everything for freedom now seems like a prisoner of his own decisions, without a kingdom and without a queen by his side. Let's look at the big picture. The crown didn't take his title. The firm didn't banish him. Meghan Markle did. Not with scandal or spectacle, but with silence, with strategy, with curated detachment. Because she doesn't need a throne. She needs a camera, a brand, a billionaires network, a solo empire. And Harry, he's not the king, he's not the co-star. He's the plot twist no one saw coming. And in Meghan's story, the one she's scripting scene by scene, that is the most brutal role of all. The fairy tale is over, and as the spotlight fades, only one truth remains. The crown didn't break Harry, love did. Whatever this is, it doesn't look like forever. No press release is needed, Meghan's actions say it all, and Harry, he's no longer the partner. He's the footnote. The question is no longer if they will officially separate. The question is, what will be left of Prince Harry when he realizes the story is being written without him? Because when a woman like Meghan Markle dines with billionaires while her husband's name is quietly scraped off the palace walls, she isn't just networking. She's rewriting the rules of her own new empire, and in that empire, there seems to be no room for a sad prince.